Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Today we have 3 brand new stories. Let's start with a short and petty one. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Incompetent and demeaning boss? Give her free donuts. Story time. I used to work at a small mom-and-pop owned company for absolutely the worst bosses ever. They acted like Fezziwig to the community and Scrooge to their employees. The business manager is the wife, and that's literally her only qualification. She's talentless, petty, jealous, and holds grudges. We all hated her. She would call meetings for the retail crew, which I was in, and blame us for low numbers while simultaneously not giving us the money to buy the best-selling items. I don't know what she expected. Our bestsellers cost us $5 and we sold them for $15. Every day we moved 20 to 30 items or so. It was stupid for her to refuse restocking them, so I planned my petty Machiavellian vengeance on her. She's in her mid-40s and is about 40 pounds overweight, so she was always trying fad diets and exercise plans, but never lost a pound, which I knew bothered her. So when she called us in for her Monday morning, "Why aren't you selling things we don't have" nonsense rodeo, I brought a dozen donuts for 5 people. Half the meeting she talked to the box instead of us, and reluctantly she had one, then 2 donuts. I left them in the office and politely told the other workers about them, so on and off people would go grab one, walking in front of her door. That Friday, she fired our hardest worker, drove delivery, and replaced him with 2 part-timers who still didn't do as good a job as him. This was to avoid giving him insurance and because he earned about $3 an hour in raises over 2 years. This meant war. Next Monday, I came in with 3 boxes of donuts, 36 glorious, delicious weapons to fight with. I only brought 1 box into the meeting room, and I cut up all the rest on my coffee break into quarters. I then casually told everyone I had done so, and please microwave yourself a small piece because they are delicious warm. So now we have it. 20 people occasionally microwaving yummy-smelling donuts all day next to the office of the evil diet queen. It broke her. On Tuesday, there was a sign that said, "No donuts in the office," and I was fired the following Friday, probably for unrelated reasons, but it was so worth it to hear her tell a friend that she'd gained weight over that season. You're fired! Would you like a donut before I leave? And our second story. My girlfriend's cousin loses her crap when we don't pay for her vacation. Backstory. I have a good-paying job, and I'm able to go on vacations with my girlfriend twice a year if time allows us to. My girlfriend's cousin, CB, is the definition of a bum and has never worked a day in her life. Not very long ago, my girlfriend and I were making plans to visit Asia for our anniversary. We're adventurous people, and we enjoy going new places. Dates were set, tickets were paid for, we both were able to get our vacation days from our workplaces to allow us to go on our trip. I had everything planned and ready for us, and we were both excited. A few days ago, CB came over to our house. She doesn't come over very often, so I figured that she was coming over to eventually ask for some cash or something like that, which she did. I gave her $100 because I know she's in a pretty bad financial state and figured she could use it to pay for some food and whatever other necessities she may need. While having a conversation with her, our anniversary plans came up and CB seemed very interested in all the little details and everything we had set up for ourselves. My girlfriend mentions to her how we'll be traveling through Asia and hopefully visiting various countries and blah blah blah. CB responds to all that with, "Wow, you guys must be spending a lot of money on all this." We were, but it wasn't breaking the bank or anything, which is what my girlfriend explained to her. Everything's all fine and dandy until CB asks if we wouldn't mind her tagging along. I explained to her that this is for our anniversary, but if she really wanted to come, we wouldn't stop her, but she'd have to book her flight and accommodations very quickly. CB then asks, "Can't you just book the flights for me?" Which I tell her I can, providing that she's able to pay for her ticket and stuff. CB's face changes. "I thought you guys would be paying for me, though." I tell her that if we invited her with us, then I would have been more than happy to pay for her, but 1, I wouldn't be inviting anyone else on my anniversary trip, and 2, she asked to tag along, therefore she should pay for herself. This does not sit well with her at all, and CB starts saying she's never been to Asia and turns to my girlfriend saying, We're family. Why won't you help family? No one says anything. I'm rather confused at the whole situation, and my girlfriend's face is getting red with embarrassment. CB takes this silence and says, if we're going to do this, though, make sure we're staying in nice hotels, and I want at least $700 to spend. As if her asking us to pay for her trip wasn't enough. I look at her with the most perplexed face and tell her that no one is going to be paying for her trip, especially when she's demanding so much spending money on top of the fact that we don't want her to come. I tell her that this trip would already cost us thousands of dollars for me and my girlfriend alone, so there was no way in hell I'd be willing to pay everything for her and fork $700 over for her to spend at her will. She loses her crap. We just agreed that you'd pay for me. No, we didn't. You guys are so selfish. I politely and quietly asked her to leave and that this discussion was over, and reminded her that the only money she was getting from me was the $100 I gave her earlier. So much for being selfish. You're kicking me out now? You're a effing a-hole. GF, I can't believe you got with this self-centered jerk. My girlfriend finally breaks her silence and demands that she leave at that very moment and curses her for speaking about me that way. After a bit more fuss, CB leaves and me and my girlfriend have a bit of a laugh about it. We haven't heard a word from her since. And our last story, just do your job. I worked security for years and was good at my job and took it seriously. While working at the mall, we had a dispatcher and a guard. The dispatcher would literally document everything. You checked the area and radio it, documented. They would also make all the required calls. Maintenance needed notified, done. After 1 year of patrol, I got moved to dispatch and loved it. It also came with a pay raise. I did that for another year and a half. I had a great coworker and we got everything taken care of in a timely manner. Well, one day he fell asleep and was fired instantly. That's where things went downhill fast. A special friend, if you catch my drift. She comes on and starts patrol. After 1 day, she says she can't walk that much and I need to do her job. I tell her my title is dispatcher and it's her job to unlock the doors. She says, well, I guess they just won't get done. We get phone call after phone call of workers trying to get inside. I get up to go do it, and a supervisor comes in and asks why the doors are still locked. I advise what happened, and they said, well, you need to unlock the doors sooner, so go. I'm dumbfounded. It's her job, but I have to do it? Eventually, it comes to the point where she can't even drive the car around the lot for some reason. She ends up sitting in dispatch because she can't do the job, and if it doesn't get done, it's on me for some reason. I was still getting the extra money, but was doing regular patrol again. She then falls asleep while I'm out riding. I approach a vehicle in the lot, and they hop out wanting to fight me. All we are armed with is pepper spray. I radio her asking to call law enforcement, no answer. Attempting to radio her multiple times, no answer. This guy was 3 feet away from me and was angry. I hop in the car and call the police, and he tears off. When I make it back to the dispatch room, she's there, sleeping, mouth wide open, passed out. I record a video of it. I attempt to wake her again. On video, no answer. I had to bang on the desk to wake her. I'm done doing 2 jobs. At that point, I was still entering all the data for dispatch and patrolling. I take the evidence to the director and say we need to do something about this and explain what happened. He says, stop pestering her and do your job. I said, fine. What job do you want me to do, dispatch or patrol? He said, patrol because she can't. Okay. So I start doing my job of patrol at 100%. She was sleeping at the desk and I had the police on speed dial, no longer relying on her. I take care of the whole mall to a point everyone's happy again. Everyone except our company who's asking, why are you not doing your rounds? They're not recorded in our data, or why are these alarms not being entered or this incident? I tell them to check our fobs as we have scanner tags to prove my job is being done perfectly. I advise them that data entry is dispatch's job, but the director doesn't mind her sleeping on duty. They were shocked. I continue my job using the radio occasionally, to which she never answers. Finally, mall management starts to get upset because she's calling for stupid reasons and not calling for good reasons. I was no longer telling her when to call, so she was doing it all wrong. They put her on patrol for a day and she wrecks the car. Instead of firing her, they put her back in dispatch where she continues to do a horrible job and still is not entering data like she's supposed to. I start looking for a new job and get a better paying one doing ambulance dispatch. I approach the director one final time and lay it on the line. I like working here. I love dispatch. I want a reason to stay, but if you don't fire her for sleeping like you did my original coworker, then this is my 2 weeks' notice. He takes my paper and says to turn in my uniform at the end of the 2 weeks. The ambulance job ended up being even better, so I'm glad he did. I still had friends at the mall and I checked in from time to time. When I left, the doors were not getting unlocked, patrols not being done, and phones not being answered. The director was fired not too long after, and the new director found a new job before he was going to let her go. She was fired after a man was shot in this location a few months ago, also on her watch. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.